This was a truly unusual couple. She was a music icon famous for her bold and wild personality. He was a quiet, unknown Swedish bodybuilder working as a bodyguard. Grace Jones and Dolph Lundgren seemed unlikely to be together. Yet, their love overcame their differences. They dated for nearly 4 years and were known as one of Hollywood's wildest couples. But their love story ended in a way no one saw coming. So what happened? What caused their breakup? And what are they doing now nearly 4 decades later? Watch the full video to find out. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to get notified as I upload a new video. Let's go on. Grace Jones was born on May 19, 1948 in Spanish Town, Jamaica. She grew up in a strict, deeply religious household led by her step-grandfather, a Pentecostal bishop known for his harsh discipline. The environment was tough. He was physically abusive toward Grace and her siblings. At the age of 13, Grace moved to the United States to join her parents in Syracuse, New York. As a rebellious teenager, she left home at 15 and began living like a hippie. At just 16, she was discovered by a modeling agent and soon began working in New York before moving to Paris, where her androgynous beauty and bold presence made her a sensation. Grace quickly landed on the covers of major fashion magazines like Elle and Vogue, and the world's top photographers lined up to capture her image. She quickly became one of the most sought-after models and gained global recognition for her unique and unconventional look. But modeling wasn't enough. Grace wanted to express herself fully, and that led her to music. Her debut album was released in 1977, and it didn't take long before she became a music icon. Songs like Pull Up to the Bumper and Slave to the Rhythm became major hits, and her album Nightclubbing was praised as one of the most influential records of the decade. Despite becoming a diva, Grace kept her love life mostly private. In the 1970s, she had a long relationship with French designer Jean-Paul Gaultier, and they had a son together named Paolo. However, she was unhappy and family life didn't suit her. Grace loved to party and live wildly, and it was during one of her nights out in Sydney that she met Dolph Lundgren. At the time, Dolph was working as a bouncer, and Grace thought he was very handsome. Dolph, for his part, found her unbelievably sexy. Dolph Lundgren was born in Sweden in 1957. Unlike Grace, he came from a much quieter background. He was highly educated, earning a degree in chemical engineering from the Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm. Later, he received a prestigious Fulbright scholarship to study at MIT. But Dolph wasn't just smart. He was also a skilled martial artist, holding a black belt in karate and even becoming a European karate champion. Despite his academic success, Dolph was drawn to the world of action and performance. Working as a nightclub bouncer helped him pay the bills, but it was far from his dream. Yet, everything changed when he met Grace. The music star fell for him so deeply that she offered him a job as her bodyguard. Dolph happily agreed, and soon they became lovers. He moved with Grace to New York City, where his life completely changed. Dolph left MIT and decided to pursue a career in acting. Suddenly, he was no longer just a smart student or a bouncer. He was thrust into the spotlight, attending high-profile events, meeting famous people, and attending wild parties. Grace introduced him to her world and even helped him break into the film industry. Dolph made his acting debut in the 1985 James Bond movie, A View to a Kill. It was a small role, but it got him noticed. That same year, he landed his first major role in Rocky IV. He was one of 5,000 men who auditioned to play Ivan Drago. But at first, he was rejected for being too tall next to Sylvester Stallone. Eventually, though, Dolph got the part. His Russian character became one of Hollywood's most iconic villains. The movie earned $300 million at the box office and turned Dolph into a superstar overnight. He once explained, "I literally walked into the theater as Grace's boyfriend with people trying to shoo me out of the way to take pictures of her. And 90 minutes later, when I walked out, People were trying to take pictures of me instead. Grace and Dolph were living a wild life. They went to big parties, hung out with celebrities, and traveled all over. Grace, who was 9 years older than Dolph, loved doing crazy things. She once said that life without scandals or adventures was simply boring. Dolph had never experienced anything like it. He left his quiet life behind and stepped into Grace's world. Their nights were intense. Grace would occasionally bring other women home, which became exhausting for Dolph. In an interview with The Sun, he recalled that happened occasionally with or without Grace. Sometimes she would bring a girlfriend home, and then I'd have to get up for work the next day. That kind of thing. I'd say at most it was 4 or 5 girls perhaps. At first Dolph enjoyed it, but over time it started to wear him down. Meanwhile, his acting career was growing fast. He was getting roles, being invited to events, and more women were noticing him. That made Grace jealous. She was used to being the star in the relationship, and now Dolph was getting his own fame. Reflecting on that time, Dolph said it was one of those things that happens once in a while in Hollywood. Somebody totally unknown becomes famous overnight. Other women showed up. She got jealous and she couldn't handle it. By 1986, their relationship began to fall apart. As Dolph gained financial independence, he moved to Los Angeles and rented an apartment there. Grace hated the city and chose to stay in New York. Once in LA, Dolph hired an agent who immediately set a strict rule for him: no contact with Grace Jones. The agent believed her wild reputation could hurt Dolph's rising career.